So last week I filmed some videos using Airbrush foundation, but using a brush to apply it. And in the comments I got a few of you who requested to see me apply the Airbrush foundation with the airbrush gun. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to begin, I have clean, dry, bare skin, and that's the way I apply it to brides. I find that the airbrush, this particular one, it's by Dinair and it's called Glamour. It has shaker beads in it and it needs to be shaken. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to use the same color that I used last week. It's the honey beige. Here's my airbrush. I'm going to put 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cut on my airbrush and begin applying. And I apply a light coat. Anywhere where there's something I want extra coverage, I bring it in closer to pinpoint. I'm going to show you that. I'm bringing it in closer to pinpoint. I'm going to lay my nose over so I can get around my nose. So the best way to apply it is thin layers. And you just pump the trigger just a tiny bit to allow some of the makeup to go into the gun. Just a little bit at a time. Alright, this is what we have so far. And it dries when it lands. Alright. I'm going to pull out a darker color and see if we can do some contouring. If you shake this Dinair foundation and you don't hear the shaker bead, it's because it's settled so much that the shaker bead's stuck in the bottom. There we go. It's loosened up now. Alright, I'm going to take a couple of drops of my original foundation. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to take a couple of drops of this one's cocoa. 1, I'm just going to do 1, and I'm going to back bubble it to mix it. The way you back bubble it is you put your finger over the end and pull the trigger just a little bit. And it mixes the colors together. Alright, now let's do some contour and bronzing. And again, I'm just pulling the trigger gently. I don't want too much at one time. See, I'm getting a contour. I think I've got too crazy right here. Now I'm going to change colors. So I'm going to put some of the cleanser through it. And this has got water in it. Back bubble it. I'm spraying it out on the tissue so that I can change colors. This side looks good. This side does not. Okay, this color is Sassy Pink. Looks good all except for where I goofed right there. I do not usually do bronzing and everything with the airbrush. I usually just do foundation. Okay, that's never been opened before. This color is called Vanity. I'm going to use this one as a highlight and maybe eyeshadow. And I'm going to turn the pressure down. That looks good. I'm going to do the eyelids. There's one. There's two. This is pretty as a highlight. Highlight blush. Now I'm going to take another color. This one's called Aubergine, which would mean dark, dark, dark purple. All right, let's put a few drops of that in here. Oh, this one's never been opened. The way you open these is you stick a straight pin down the hole. You don't ever take this cap off. All right, I'm gonna put 3 drops of aubergine in the brush. Keep the pressure down. And do this in the outside corner. There we go, there's one side. And there's aim for my eyelashes a little bit here. There we go. Get some underneath. Considering I have not attempted eyeshadow with the airbrush in about 3 years, I'm going to take some makeup remover and clean up a little bit. This is the Garnier. Just clean up a little. It's pretty tedious when it comes to doing eyes with the airbrush. I guess if I had the patience to practice this portion, I could master it. But why bother when there's so many fun ways to do eyes with a different kind of media. All right, soft brown. I think we all decided that in our workshop that the soft brown was a good brow color. So I'm going to take the soft brown and attempt to do the eyebrows. There's so many variables, I feel like, when it comes to the airbrush, that I like to keep it simple and just do foundation with the airbrush, and then just use regular makeup for the rest of it. But because you wanted to see the airbrush gun, we're gonna attempt everything. Okay, this is soft brown. I put 2 drops in there. That's not the right color. It might be to fill brows, but if you're missing brow completely, it's not good. I don't like that color for brows. All right, I'm gonna rinse that out. I don't like that. All right, what else can we play with? I'm gonna clean up around my brows and around my eyes. All right, let's see what else we have to experiment with. Maybe light smoke was the color for brows. Oh well, we're done messing with brows now. Let's take, I'm taking the color Champagne. Okay, I'd say this is a fail. Next time we do this, we're just doing foundation. While the camera was cooling off, I went and washed my face so we could start over again. And we could see at what point, I guess what the point where I went wrong was when we got to the dark outer corner, I got impatient. So we're gonna start all over again. I'm going to begin with the Honey Beige, 6 drops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, there we go. Watch my index finger on the trigger. This is the part that I do on 99% of my brides, is the airbrush foundation. And like I said, I get in closer when there's something I want a little more coverage on. And then you can bring it down your neck to give it continuity. 6 drops is all you need. I'm still working on this same 6 drops. That's how much I used with the brush too, wasn't it? I'd do 3 and then do 3 again. Get the ears so the ears match. Okay, you can hear now it's empty. All right, so now I'm gonna take not the soft brown, but the cocoa. 2 drops of this. The color was right. I just got impatient and did a right there. And this is my foundation. So I did 2 of the cocoa and 2 of the foundation. Now I'm gonna back bubble it to mix it. You put your finger over the end and pull the trigger gently. Okay. I'm not gonna get impatient this time. I do not usually do bronzer on my brides with the air gun. I usually do it with Kevin Aquan. I guess because I'm impatient and I don't feel like practicing this portion. I've perfected the foundation application, but I guess during these times when I don't have any, when we're doing quarantine and social distancing, I guess I should have been practicing this. But it looks good this time. I still feel a little bit coming out, so I'm getting closer into the hairline. I'm gonna look this way. This mirror is, I can see more of my, I'm gonna run some water through it. I'm gonna take some of this Sassy Pink. I didn't use this one last time. Last time I used Vanity. I'm gonna pick some of this Sassy Pink and do some blush. I'm aiming for the apples. Alright, now I'm going to take some of this color. It's called Wonderland. My contouring it grabbed on that rough spot on my nose. Okay, this one's called Wonderland. We'll do highlight with this. 2 drops of that. Do some highlight. Center of my nose. That's what I'm going for. There we go, got it. A little bit on my eyelids. Cupid's bow. I'm not being impatient with it this time. Okay, this is what we have with the airbrush. And I'm going to stop there and I'll show you how I would finish it off without the airbrush. So I would do the brows. So let's go ahead and do the brows. I want the taupe pencil. There we go. I'm going to do the Eyestudio liner, and I'm making those little marks on the outside like that. There we go. And I'm going to put it on the tight line. The Maybelline Eyestudio gel. I got my brows on, and I accidentally picked up the tinted brow gel instead of the clear brow gel. That's why we have bold brows, but that's okay. I have put on my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, and I'm blending it in with the F64 from Sigma. The bronzing I did with the airbrush grabbed that spot, but we're gonna, well, maybe we can soften it. It's a little softer. All right. I'm gonna take the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk and something balmy. My butter gloss from NYX. And the color is Creme Brulee. And I want to use the inner Rim Brightener. Final touch. It's the inner Rim Brightener from Sigma. Okay. This is the Karma by BareMinerals. And the Chanel Le Volume Mascara. So this is how the Airbrush foundation looks when it's applied with the airbrush gun. Now I'm not finished. Now I have about 20 minutes worth of cleanup because it has to be taken apart and cleaned so that it'll spray properly next time I use it. Thus the application with the makeup brush. I had fun doing this with y'all today. I look forward to talking to you in the comments, and I'll see you again soon.